Will the Giants' bats stay hot? Or was it a fluke before the Dodgers returned to San Francisco this week? Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Buster and the Giants. I'm your host, Jonah Johnson, a freelance video producer and editor, and a lifelong San Francisco Giants fan. In today's video, we'll be going over the final scores over this past week, as well as looking at some players that underperformed and some players that overperformed. Also, is it time to see a new reliever in the closing role? First, let's get into the final scores over this past week. After going 1-2 in Baltimore against the Orioles, the Giants continued that streak of going 1-2 against the Reds in Cincinnati. They lost the first game 2-1, lost the second game 8-3, and won the finale 3-0. After finishing things up in Cincinnati, they headed to Washington to face the Nationals in a 3-game set. They won Game 1 10-5, they won Game 2 in a nail-biter 7-6, and they lost Game 3 3-0. Overall, they scored 24 runs over the last 6 games of the road trip, racking in a total of 61 hits. They finished with a record of 9-13 through 22 games this season. Now, let's get into some lowlights over this past week, starting with Rafael Devers. Over his last 6 games, Devers went 6 for 26 with 9 strikeouts and 3 RBIs. In 22 games this season, he has a .225 batting average and a .581 OPS. He also leads the team with 28 strikeouts. Unfortunately, he's still swinging and missing at fastballs that land at the top half of the zone. If he keeps striking out and failing to put the ball in play with runners in scoring position, I don't know how much longer this offense can prevail before things get too far out of hand. Next player we're going to talk about, Bruce Bochy's recruit, Tyler Mahle. On Wednesday in Cincinnati, Mahle gave up 8 earned runs, walked 5, and gave up 4 home runs. He struck out 6 batters, but he threw 89 pitches and only landed 49 of them for strikes. So when you walk batters, the next batter is going to punish you, like Sal Stewart, who hit 2 3-run home runs off of Mahle on Wednesday. His next appearance is on Wednesday against the Dodgers in Game 2 of the series. I don't want to be too negative, but I definitely feel skeptical about him facing this Dodgers team after he had such a rough outing against the Reds, who have been struggling offensively. Alright, let's throw the negativity behind us and get into some highlights from this past week. First up, Jung Hoo Lee. Over his last 6 games, he's 9 for 24 with 4 runs scored and only 3 strikeouts. He's doing a better job of making solid contact and hitting line drives instead of popping the ball in the air like he did a lot earlier on in the season. Next player I want to talk about is Heliot Ramos. He was 6 for 20 on the week with 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. After getting off to a slow start in his 2026 campaign, it looks like things are turning around for Ramos. I know I said let's throw the negativity behind us, but there's one more player I want to look at before we look ahead and see what's to come in Giants baseball this upcoming week. That player being Ryan Walker. Simply put, I do not trust him in the 9th inning. As soon as he came into the game on Saturday, I was immediately scared of what was to come. We did win, but Walker almost blew it for us. In 9 innings pitched this year, Walker has given up 4 earned runs, walked 5 batters, and struck out 10. Me and a lot of other Giants fans just do not trust him going forward. Personally, in this situation, I think you keep him in a spot where he's comfortable, like the 7th or 8th inning, and leave it to another guy to close out the game. Maybe Blade Tidwell, Caleb Killian. We'll see what Tony V and his staff do with the bullpen going forward, but for now, it seems like it's Walker's role until further notice. Our good friends from down south, the Dodgers, returned to San Francisco for a 3-game set against the Giants on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, before the Marlins come into town for a 3-game set over the weekend. On Tuesday, it'll be Landon Roop on the bump for the Giants with a 6:45 p.m. start, Tyler Mahle on Wednesday with a 6:45 p.m. start, and Webb at 12:45 on Thursday. And like I said before, the Marlins come into town with a record of 10-12. On Friday, the game is at 7:15, and the games on Saturday and Sunday are both at 1:05 p.m. Who knows, maybe the Giants surprise us and win a series against the Dodgers, sweep the Marlins, win both series. We'll see this week. What did you think of the Giants this past week? Any changes you want to see in the lineup? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you for taking the time to watch this week's video. If you haven't already, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm staying hopeful. I do think the Giants can turn this around, and I'm looking forward to seeing this all unfold. Be fair, be kind, and as always, go Giants. I'll see you next week.